Good morning, class. This is your favorite U.S. history teacher, Mr. Clough, coming to you live to help some of you who aren't native English speakers or English is a second language master some vocabulary in our World War II history unit. It's Friday. I'm wearing my polo. Please don't judge. It's been a long week. First 5-day work week all school year, or 2019 year, because of no snow days. So the first word I want to give you guys is the Guadalcanal. So at this point, we know what's going on in Germany with the Holocaust. We know that the Allied powers are trying to fight the Axis powers there. But we're looking more at how the U.S. is advancing on Japan for our attacks there. We're doing island hopping, some other terms. This term is about a major battle by the United States attacking Japan, going on the offensive. And the Guadalcanal is a word that is kind of made up by the United States. It's translated from a Japanese word, so it's a little hard to understand. So the Guadalcanal is the U.S. first major offensive. We're finally going on the offensive against Japan. Our Marines waited ashore for 6 months, clinching their toehold around the airport. It took them a long time to get there. Our goal is not to get there and fail, it's to get there and succeed. The Japanese refused to surrender, which is why we've had to go on the offensive. We have to attack, we have to do better. The Japan sent a reinforcement fleet to recapture the island, but was intercepted by a U.S. fleet, turned the tide of the war in the Allies' favor. So the Guadalcanal, what's hard to understand by that word, as I said, is it's not necessarily a landmark in itself, but it's a chain of islands that the United States labeled the Guadalcanal. So it's not something you can just Google and get a straightforward answer. So it's important to remember that these events are all directly correlated to what the Guadalcanal is. They can all define the Guadalcanal. That's the first word we're going to do. Remember, this is about the United States going on the offensive, island hopping, taking advantage of the Japanese, and actually being attacking. The next word we're going to look at is kamikaze. So, kamikaze, in my opinion, is a funny word. I like to say it, but once again, it's not the most English Americanized word. Kamikaze is against what the Japanese call their planes. This is a big part of the war as well. A kamikaze is a Japanese suicide fighter. Their job is not to attack and go home. Their job is they're giving their life in their battle. That's all they do. They want to crash their plane into United States ships, airmen, ground troops, and it's a one-way mission. They're all suicide missions. All the planes are filled with their explosives, and as I said, their goal, if they would go home, they'd be forced to commit suicide themselves. They crash their planes into our boats, into our United States military men, into our other planes. That's their goal. They fill them with explosives, and they go find who they can. Some of these planes were flown into ships. That was their main goal, to stop us on the offensive as we got closer to the mainland and got closer to attacking. This was them at the desperation point, the turning point of the war. They finally saw the United States taking the offensive. They knew they were in a position where they might fail, so they had to. And that's what kamikaze is. It's suicide fighters who are Japanese in planes, and their job is to destroy their plane filled with weapons and crash it into United States military men, either their ships or their patrols. So we have kamikaze down, we have Guadalcanal, 2 words that are going to be imperative to what we do on Monday in class as we finish our World War II PowerPoint. We get towards the end of the war, we talk about dropping of the bomb, little boy, and so on. So now you have the 2 definitions for these words, and remember, these aren't words that are just one-sentence definitions. There's multiple statements that fall under their categorization. Kamikaze, suicide fighter. Suicide fighter in a plane full of explosives. They fly into ships, fly into people, trying to stop the United States from coming ashore. Guadalcanal, the first United States major offensive in the war against Japan. Island hopping, not necessarily at one place. The Marines had to stick it out for 6 months to get there. Hopefully these 2 words will put you where you need to be, and if not, I'm always one to help. I'm always one to come over there and re-explain it to you or give you guys side notes. So if you get a chance to review this video, and I'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend.